Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with KonoSuba and Explosion on this wonderful world, episode number 12 reaction, and this is the season finale, or I think this is the series finale as far as I think. I'm not exactly sure because it seems like it, because after this we meet Kazuma, I'm guessing. So I'm guessing this is the series finale in itself. Let me know. Either way, so in the previous episode, what happened is we're still in Axel, we're still struggling to find jobs, and yeah, random Cecily pops up out of nowhere, talking about how like she got like this kind of an, like the oracle said that, oh, like goddess Aqua is here or something like that. It's kind of true. Like the words that she said like actually were the words that Aqua said while asking for money from that Axis, from that Eris, sect member, and she's that's why she's here and all that. So yeah, that's what's happening. Also, Host is here again, looking for Chomsky, and he kind of tried to introduce himself, but Megwin and they got scared, ran away, told the guild lady, and the guild lady was like, we need people to counter this. Who is the best person to counter this? The newly appointed priest, the arch priest, who is has one of the best who has, I think, purification. No, what was that magic called? The I forgot the name. The one that actually works on the undead. That magic. That's why she's like, oh, we need her, and everyone tries to find her, but seeing how Aqua is, nobody realizes that it's her. So it's kind of funny seeing all of that, and Kazuma with his own troubles. And yeah, but in the end we again meet Host, and Host kind of gives us an ultimatum as to give Chomsky, otherwise I'm going to go and take him and attack the the place. So let's see what happens in this episode. Megumin and Union are kind of in a dilemma, and yeah, so let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles in the timer here, sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. All right, here's the countdown: 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah. Well, true. Yeah, finding the blue-haired goddess, the archpriest. Oh wait, I forgot that that's also another option. Oh no. What, you're going to scam him like you did for Arnes? Oh boy, she's planning to scam Host. Wow. I guess she's kind of correct. Like she has her explosion magic. Hmm. Yeah. She's like, help me out. Yeah, you bring out the friend card whenever it's convenient. Oh boy, you're going to help her. Oh boy. An explosion on this wonderful world. Alright, so what are we gonna do? Wow, she was waiting here. Oh, Cecily, isn't it? Cecily. Oh boy. Alright. Is this where Union will meet Wiz? I'm guessing. Wow, you. Like I said, she's gonna try to scam Host. Concealment. Okay. To scam. Wait, what? Oh, I was wondering what she was doing. Well, is host really that stupid that he'll not be able to understand? But I guess like he's gonna use it as a bait. All right. All right. Oh my god. Yeah, that's true. Well, hmm. Hmm. Oh my god. Stop it. Oh, she's actually going. Wait, who? Is it Cecily? Oh my god, it's Cecily. It's freaking Cecily. Or no, wait, is it Union? No, why would Union need to unlock? She has the. Oh wait, it is her. Wait, why was it locked then? Like, shouldn't she have a key? Well, yeah. Wow. It's like I'm going to take revenge later. Mm. Oh wait, she didn't think of it. Oh no. But I feel like, oh, she's going now. Oh, Rex. Oh wait, those guys. Like, wait, did Aqua like heal them or something? I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. Oh, she's gonna cast sleep. Yeah, she realized that she's probably awake or something like that, or at least she's taking measures so that she doesn't wake up. Yeah, she probably didn't realize that she's asleep, but she just took measures just in case. Oh, it's morning now. Oh boy, this isn't good. What? Damn, her speed in change. What the hell are you? Okay. Why was she waiting outside? Okay, what happened? Oh, she healed them. Ah, yeah, that makes more sense. How much money did you take? Oh, that's why she did it. Okay. Like Cecily is so much like Aqua. Are they okay? I think they're okay. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Holy woman. Nah. Alright, let's go. Okay. I wonder if like she put whoa. Oh yeah, host is pissed off. Yeah. Damn, so they've been fighting throughout the night. That's crazy. I wonder if Aqua's going to play a role in here because, like I said, Cecily put a blessing on Megumin. And the previous time it happened, Aqua got summoned here. Magic Canceller, nice. Yep, she's ready with everything. But for how long? You don't have unlimited scrolls. Oh, there she is. Alright. Damn. He's like, just give me, like, just give me my master back. Whoa. Flash. Oh! Wait. Oh my god, you got exposed now, Megumin. Oh god. What is that? What the hell? What? Oh! No, no, I think like she's going to. Oh my god, what's. Alright. No, she drank the potion. I think it's probably going to work. Yeah, there you go. Like I said, that's why she took it. But now what? Like, yeah. Like, I feel like this is a perfect opportunity for Megumi to cast Explosion. But yeah, she doesn't know that Megumin is here. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a good. Like, that's a good thing. Like, good offer. No, she cannot. Like, she doesn't know that Megumin is here, so she doesn't. She how impossible? She alone cannot. What? You want to pee or something? Oh no, I feel like that's what's. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought she was like, oh, I need to pee. Yeah. Wow, she also got paralyzed. Affected area. There you go. That's why. Wow. It worked too well. Well, you guys are. Oh boy. Ah, Megwin's like, I'm going to show you my ultimate explosion. uh, Alright, you liar. Wow. Oh yeah, she has 1 day worth of magic. This will be a big one. Not the time union. Wait, she did it again. Oh god. Yeah. Her eyes are still glowing. Well, you have enough time. Like he's paralyzed for a few minutes. Oh no. Oh god. There we go. She's gonna blow up the whole place. Ah. Hmm. But I feel like Host can survive this. I don't know. That's just a. I don't know, or maybe not. Let's see. Could have survived this. Oh wait. So wow, Darkness and Chris. Okay. Oh yeah, I remember. Like them actually. Oh my god! Even Aqua attacked him. One life. Wow. Okay, wait. So yeah, I don't think he died here. He said like one life or whatever. What? Oh my god. Wait, did he get respawned here or something? All right, I need to go back to that part and see it again later on in the discussion section. Yeah. Oh, a journey. Oh, that's why we didn't meet her in Arcarentia in Konosuba. Yeah. Oh God. Wow. Okay. Probably. Yeah, so we'll probably meet her in like season 3 or something. I'm talking about the original Konosuba. Alright. Leave. Oh God. Oh, is she going to try to fight her or something? Like, duel? Is this where her whole duel thing starts? Like, oh, duel me. Yep. Nemesis. Here's where she started this whole. Oh, there you go. That's why she wasn't here in Konosuba. Wow. Yeah. I guess she also probably thought that if she was able to defeat Host, then she would be able to surpass Megumin, and then she could join her party. But that didn't happen. Megumin came in and helped her out. So, okay. All right. And there you go. There she leaves, and then she meets Kazuma, and oh, there's Mitsurugi. So this continues for a little while, and then after she meets, oh god, darkness. What the hell? Yo, she actually met Walba. Great. And okay, so Union went back to the Crimsonville Demon Village, I'm guessing, and Rollback was going towards Arcantia? I don't know. Wow. No, the same night sky. Wait, we're not going to see. Okay, there you go. There you go. Yes. They're like, oh no, no. And then, uh, oh wow, she actually gave it all out. She's going to, like, like see Aqua's recruitment poster. There you go. There you go. Aqua's Aqua's recruitment poster. Oh god, this is funny. Wow. Oh god. Wow. My name is Meguin. Yeah. Kazuma's like, are you making fun of me? You think this is a joke? I remember Kazuma saying something like that to her. Oh boy. Okay, that was nice. There you go. So, yeah, that was the final episode. Okay, so here we get to see what happens in the end, the whole situation with Host. And so I'm guessing Host, like, I don't know, like Host didn't die there, because that's the feeling that I was getting from the way he was talking about the whole situation. And he was like, oh, like, like if this is the situation, I'm guessing in the future that girl is actually going to summon me as her familiar or something like that, he said. So yeah, okay, I'm going to go when that part will come. I'll read it properly and try to understand what happened there. But before that, let's talk about this step by step. At the beginning, we get to see Megumin and like the Union explain the situation to the guild lady and everyone else, and everyone's like panicking, and they're like, "What are we going to do? You know, what do we do in this situation?" So Megumin is thinking, and Union grabs Chomsky, and she's like, "Nope, I'm not letting you give Chomsky away." And she's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Don't worry. I'm thinking of something else." And and she basically says that she plans to scam, like Host. That was the original plan, and not scam, but kind of like trick him and then defeat him. So at first, like Union was like, all right, like I'm going to take Chomsky and I'm just going to leave. However, Megumin just stopped her, and Megumin's like, yeah, you should help me. Aren't we friends? And it's funny how she never really asks for help directly. She's like, aren't we friends, Union? There you go. We're friends, aren't we? Like, whenever she needs help, she's just this one. She cannot ask for help directly. She's like, we're friends, aren't we? And Union is like, kind of translates it inside her head, and she's like, oh, wait, you want my help? Oh god. And she's like, you cannot really like use the front card everywhere. But then she's like, yeah, you know what, I'm still happy about that you asked me for your help. So then after that, we get to see them, Union outside the place, that like like that place, that inn. And she was like, what should we do? And Megwin's like, oh, I have 10,000 Eris with me. Take this and go to the magic shop. Ask for like these things that we need. And I'm guessing, obviously, I'm pretty sure she took it from Cecily. Like, I don't know in return what she had to give Cecily, but whatever it is, I don't think it was nice. But either way, I'm pretty sure Cecily said something like, "Oh, call me sister," or like something like that. Oh no, I don't think that was she said that, because she later on asked her to call her sister again. I don't know, like probably like asked like like make me to like let her pat her head or something like that. I'm guessing probably like or maybe something more degenerate, like like let me sniff your bed or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's something like that. Either way, whatever it was, she got like that 10,000. Wait, that's not 10,000. What? Wait. 10 million, isn't it? Yeah, okay. 10 million Eris. And yeah, so Union is like, okay, so what do I buy? And she gives her all the list, and she's like, also bring this like doll which looks like Chomsky. And yeah, she brings all the stuff. Obviously, it was from Wizard's shop, and so there's like presents, scroll of concealment, some gems, some healing potions, some magic booster potions, I'm guessing, and like all these things, and some like like other magic scrolls. And Megumin's like, all right, You know what I'm gonna do? Grabs Chomsky and ties him to the dummy Chomsky, the bait. And Yunun's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Calm down. I'm not going to use him. Like, I'm not going to, like give him away. Like, I'm also kind of attached to him by this point. So we're going to use this doll as a bait, and that's why I'm making sure that the scent of Chomsky rubs off on it, so that like now I was thinking she was going to like try to make like a deal with a host some way, like using the magic scrolls and this whole thing, and kind of make a deal with host saying like, oh, this is Chomsky, and hand him over the like the doll with like Chomsky's scent, and would like say that, oh, now you please leave. And that's how I thought like she was actually going to scam him. Turns out no, she was actually trying to use it as a bait to bring like host in a place where she, like at a distance, will be using presence concealment scroll, and then use explosion magic like on host while baiting him. That was his plan. Sorry, that was her plan. And yeah, so she's like, and also the fact that I'm kind of attached to this place as well, these adventurers, like they kind of help me out a lot of times. So yeah, like I actually want to deal with the situation on my own. It is my problem, and also the reason why all of this is happening is Chomsky. So I need to take care of this. And yeah, so that is her plan. So off she goes. She's going to take a sleep, and she's like, am I really that nervous that I'm not able to fall asleep? And then she's like, wait a minute, I didn't do my daily explosion magic. That is why I'm not able to sleep. And she tries to go, but then the like door unlocks, and I was like, who is unlocking the door? Now here's the thing: doesn't Yunun have the key to the door? Like, why did she unlock it? Like using a magic spell. At first, I thought it was Cecily, but then it turns out it was Yunun. I don't know why she used unlock spell to unlock. She could have easily used the key, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, she comes in and she's like, oh, Megumin, you're so amazing, and like all the stuff she isn't able to say when Megumin is awake. And she talks about how she is so impressed by her, and and she's like, oh, like I know that you knew that even using the presence concealment while using the explosion magic, your whole your whole what's that word, your your magical energy is going to seep out, so the host will realize that you're the one who's doing it. So even though you knew it, you still kind of firmed it. And Megumin is thinking like, oh no, I actually didn't realize that. And but it's awkward now to tell that, so yeah, I'm just going to keep quiet. And anyways, like by the way, she's like talking about everything. Like Megumin say, I cannot like really wake up here in this situation. It's far too awkward to pretend to wake up now. And yeah, so Yunun talks about everything, and she's like, you know what? I thought you were dumb. Back in the school days, you told you were going to learn explosion magic, and I'm like, yeah, I think you're not that clever. But now I'm looking at you, and I respect that. And Megumin is just like happy at the same time, kind of annoyed because like Yunun's like kind of talking all of these smack to her, and she's thinking like, yeah, you know what? Later on, I'm going to take my revenge for this. I'm pretty sure she was thinking of that. But anyways, she's like, oh, you're like really good. You have you slayed the Devil King's minions and also defeated Arnis, and she's like, I'm very happy to call you my friend. You're cool. You're incredible. And then she says that. Okay, just a minute. Alright, so she then explains how she was at the guild before this. She asked those party members, I think Rex and his party members, that, oh, will you come with me, make a party with me, and like go and let's take revenge on this host. And she said like this is the first time I actually went to like others and asked them to form a party with me. And she's like, yeah, and they agreed, so we're going to do that. Okay, so and then she calls her like her best friend, and uses sleep. Now here I thought like, okay, like did she know that she's awake? But then I realized like obviously not, because if she knew that she was awake, she never would have said all of these words. So that would mean that the reason why she was using sleep on her is so that she doesn't wake up in the middle of the night and like kind of wander out or something. So that is why, just for insurance and just for like like for good measure, she used the sleep spell so that she doesn't wake up. Like she didn't know she was awake. If she knew, she never would have said these. Also, I forgot to mention this. She also mentioned that how Rex, they're like like making the party, and Megun was like, "What the hell? How are they so quickly healed?" Now here in this situation, I was thinking like the only person who has this amount of healing capabilities here is Aqua. So I was thinking like, wait, did Aqua like heal them or something? But then at the same time, I was thinking, I don't see Aqua as the type of person who's just going to heal people. And if she heals them, everyone would realize that that is the archpriest that we are looking for. And so they'll try to drag Aqua in this whole situation and tell her to take care of take care of Host. So the whole situation would be a lot different. So I was thinking like, if it is Aqua, then this doesn't make sense. So I was thinking like, who was it that healed them? Later on, I get my answer. It was Cecily, and it kind of makes sense because Cecily also has a lot of, I guess you could say, magic power. She's a lot like Aqua if you kind of look at her and see like her mannerisms and everything. A lot like Aqua. She's a little bit too crazy with a few things. However, most of most of her personality is really kind of like like Aqua. And obviously, she's also a priest, so she can heal. So there you go. Now she casts spell, the sleep spell, and Megumin goes to sleep. So Megumin wakes up, and Megumin is like, "Okay, oh no, where is she?" And she's like, "How dare you entrap me like this?" And just immediately changes clothes and just rushes off. And outside, Cecily is waiting. So Megumin's like, "What the hell are you doing here?" And Megumin asks like, "Oh, where is Union? Like, what about the Rex's party?" And she's like, "Oh, like I'm the one who healed Rex's party." And Megumin's like, "So you're the one responsible for all this." Anyways, and I was wondering, I was like, why did she heal Rex? Did they like pay money to her? Like, otherwise I don't see her healing anyone for free. But then she says like, "Oh, I saw them outside the Eris church," and I was like, you know what? It would be funny if I actually healed them before they went to the Eris church. Like. And she exactly did that just to annoy the Eris, sect members. And she's like, "Oh, I just loved seeing their, like faces with like filled with anguish when I healed them in front of their eyes." Oh god. But anyways, and Megumin's like, "Alright, I need to leave," and she tries to go, but Cecily stops her and casts Aqua's blessing on her. And like here I was thinking like, oh, maybe Aqua's going to get involved again somehow, because the last time someone put Aqua's blessing on her, that is Zesta, Aqua literally got summoned here. So I was thinking maybe in some way Aqua's also going to kind of contribute to this whole thing. Like, I don't know, I thought maybe like when they will be fighting Host, maybe Aqua and Kazuma will be there somewhere like near the place, and they'll kind of get involved in this whole situation, and Aqua might try to do something. So I thought maybe it was going to go in that direction, but turns out it didn't happen in that way. I guess you could say that, like, one thing that happened is that Letter X says that Aqua actually used like undead magic on him, which kind of reduced his power. So I guess this is like one way Aqua helped Megumin out in that situation indirectly, because of Aqua and darkness, they were easily like Megumin's explosion magic was enough to defeat Host. Either way, she cast Aqua's magic blessing on her, and Cecily's like, like, "I know you can win, like you cannot lose to that rotten devil." And Megumin's like, "All right, you know what? Thank you for this." Cecily's like, "Then call me big sister." And Megumin kind of indulges her, and she's like, "All right, fine, like thank you, big sister Cecily." And yeah, then she leaves. Alright, so here we see like Union and all the others are fighting. Host still fighting. I'm pretty sure they went off in the middle of the night. They probably started fighting like from like 2 a.m. or something. I don't know, probably from that time, and they're probably still fighting now, like for I don't know, like probably like 3 to 4 hours they're continuously fighting because it's morning now, and like they're trying their best. They're all like battered down. However, the host isn't even breaking a sweat. The host is like, you know what? I'm getting annoyed now, you guys. Like you're actually bothering me. And he's like using his attacks to like that rock thing that he does, all that stuff. Tries to attack Union and his group. However, Union is using her scrolls, that magic like nullifier scroll or whatever it is called. She uses that to actually suck in one of like a high level magic spell that host used on them, and then she breaks some gems, uses it to, I guess, like do some magic power, magic spells like that. There was that wind spell that she used, breaking a little gem, and using all the scrolls, the other equipment, to try to like gain an edge on the battle. However, it's not working. So Megumin is looking at the situation using her presence concealment scroll, and she's like, oh no, this isn't good. And so all right, after that, Union uses like flash or something like that, which actually acts in a in a disadvantageous way for Megumin, because Megumin's eyes gets flashed and she just falls down. Her presence concealment completely gone, and it's crazy how host didn't realize that Megumin was there, even though that guy, like Rex, he realized. He was like, wait, I heard like a voice, someone screaming. So he heard the Megumin's voice. However, host didn't realize. Probably he was too preoccupied with this whole situation. That's why she probably didn't pay much attention. Because yeah, like after that, Union uses this potion, which boosts her magic spell ability, and Rex kind of distracts host, while Union uses paralyze, and host is like, you foolish little girl, you don't know I'm a demon. I won't be affected by paralyzing spells. And Union's like, I know that is why I drank that potion. And yeah, obviously that potion heightens the ability of using spells. So it's working now, and host is like, all right, you know what, you got me. So yeah, how about we make a deal? Your people are just on the ground, like all defeated. You're the only one who's left. I'm kind of tired as well. And it kind of makes sense, because he says like later on that before this he had a lot of trouble with darkness and then with aqua. So he's actually tired now, and he's like, yeah, I can't be bothered continuing to do this. So why don't we just call a truce for a moment and actually go on our own way, come back later on and continue this in the future. So he's like, yeah, let's do that, because you guys are also need that the healing. So yeah, I think it's a good a good proposal. So Rex and his party members are like, no, Megumin, don't listen to him. Don't worry about us. Defeat him. Go attack him now. And Megumin, Union is like, actually, and here I was like, wait, is she like, does she have to go to pee or something? Because she's using the paralyze spell. So she's probably kind of thinking like, oh no, I cannot undo the spell, otherwise it'll be a problem. So that's why she's struggling. I thought that's what's going on, because the way she was acting there. And then she's like, Herex's host is like, oh, so you cannot move, you also paralyzed yourself. So here Megumin Union kind of explains why this happened. So basically Wiz sold her a potion which was quite good for its cost. She says that the potion guaranteed to increase the strength and affected area of paralyze. So, oh, okay, it's not a magic boosting spell. It's a boosting spell for paralyze in itself. So it kind of worked more, more than it should on paralyze. It worked so good that it actually paralyzed a Union as well. And Union didn't realize that, the area of effect, the AOE, of the spell would be that huge. I guess if she realized that, she probably would have used the cast the spell a little bit, from the back, kind of went a little bit more distant. She didn't realize that. I can kind of understand that, like I'm pretty sure she has used paralyzed spells way more than this, like, like before this as well. And when you use like spells, you obviously have like an estimate, like, oh, the AoE of this spell is up until here, so I should be just behind that. So that is how they do it. However, she forgot the fact that the potion actually increases the AoE for this paralyze. So she used it from the similar distance that she uses it on other, like, enemies. But this time, since it was boosted, the area of effect became bigger and it included her as well. So that was like a mistake she kind of made here. She didn't, yeah, if she realized and kind of anticipated this, she probably would have used paralyze from a little bit further away, and it wouldn't have worked, I think, on her at least. So yeah, that is the problem. And host is like, ah, you fool. He's like, ah, you know what? That kind of tickled me. All right, like, I'm gonna give you another chance. You want to leave? I'll let you leave. Like I cannot fight now. I'm kind of tired. You're also tired. So yeah, like, like, I'll give you another chance. I'll let you leave now. But Union is like, no, I'm going to fight you. You picked a fight with us. And then Megumin suddenly appears, and Megumin's like, ha, like, like, mine. I think she introduces herself. Wait a minute. Just a minute. Okay. Union says Crimson Demons always accept the challenges. Megumin's like, so it seems all you can move. All of you cannot move. Alright, so Megumin is kind of like, like, yeah, you know what, Union, she actually tells her that she was awake in a, like, kind of a, in a weird way. And, okay. She says, after realizing I have not performed my daily explosion magic, I tried to go outside yesterday, but someone cast a spell magic on me. And Union's like, wait, you're awake? And now she's embarrassed. And she's like, from where were you awake? And she's like, oh, from the time when you unlocked the door, and from when you started praising me and saying how I am your best friend, and I'm so cool, I'm so amazing, and like stuff like that. From that point onwards. Okay, and you can see like Megumin is like, her eyes are glowing, glowing red, and she's like, yes, so I have a lot of explosion magic pent up. I'm going to unleash a big one today. Oh my god. And like, to be fair, like when Rex was like, why are you like wasting time? Yeah, like Union did mention that it's going to stay for a few minutes. So Megumin was well within her time to give a nice little introduction, a nice little speech, and then use explosion magic. So yeah, it was fine. Like it wouldn't matter. Like they were paralyzed, and Rex would be paralyzed for a little while. While Union is just embarrassed. She's like, oh, like like just take me away from here. Just kill me. I cannot like bear this embarrassment. But either way, Megumin is like, all right, so this is the explosion magic that I used to defeat Arnis. And Host is like, oh, so you're the one who did it. And he says like, well, seeing the kind of magic power you're packing, it makes sense that she couldn't survive it. Now here I was thinking like, all right, you know what? I feel like Host is going to get hit by explosion magic, but he will be able to survive. He's a bit, I think like he's a lot stronger than Arnis. And I was like, yeah, like it would work. He probably would retreat, but he'll be alive. But what he says is that, oh, if this happened in my full power, maybe I could have taken it. However, the situation is not the same. He says that, okay, this is not my day, man. I probably could have survived this if I was at full strength, But I had a run-in with those weirdos yesterday. So there you go. The stupidly durable Crusader, the thief in the shorts, obviously Chris and Darkness, and then I was gonna attack the town to let off some steam. The weird broad who was doing maintenance on the walls lost me with some seriously nasty evil banishing magic. And now he's fighting with these, like, union and all of them, so he's pretty worn out. And I can just imagine, like, like the scene where host is like, god damn those like that crusader and that thief, they did, like, like they actually were pretty annoying. I'm pretty pissed, let me just like let off some steam in the town. And he's like on his, like, jolly good mood, like, merrily going towards the the town to, like, do some crazy stuff, like, like bother people and, like, like blow off some steam. And then, like, outside, like, Ark was like pissed off, like, like it's because of some weird reason or something, I don't know, like, doing construction job. Kazuma's probably complaining. And then like he, like, kind of runs into Aqua, and Aqua's like, what the hell, what is this thing doing here? Like, and I'm pretty pissed off, like, you know what, just to blow off my steam, I'm going to use my magic on this monster. And she just immediately unleashes her, undead magic. Host gets just completely, like, like just gets like, almost, like, defeated by that magic and runs away some way or the other. I can imagine that happening. Like, good god. Oh boy. So, like I said, the Aqua's, like, blessing that Cecily put on her, it didn't work in that particular way, like it worked during Zesta's situation. Like, where Zesta, when he used a blessing, and when Megumin was in a pinch, Aqua literally got summoned here because of Kazuma in a weird, like, twist of fate. So, like, but yeah, I can see this being, I don't know, like, a reason for the like, the blessing that Cecily put on her. I can see this being like an effect of the blessing, because technically, if you think about it, Aqua did help out Megumin even in this situation, unknowingly, because if she hadn't used the evil banishing magic on Host, if Darkness didn't go out and, like, try to mess with a Host, yeah, the explosion magic probably wouldn't have worked, and the Host would have been fine. So yeah, the explosion happens, Host gets bombarded with it, and he said, here's what he says. I guess this is one life wasted. So there you go. He has multiple lives, and that's why he's not that concerned about it. He's like, I'm just going to get, like, like, respawned again. And I think that's exactly what happens. He says, like, one life wasted. What a mess. If I don't turn things around, that little kid's actually going to end me summoning me as her familiar. So yeah, and obviously he was talking about Komeko. So he gets obliterated here, and from his words, I would guess that as soon as he dies, he gets respawned back in the Crimson Demon village, because we can see here Komeko's playing with the thing again, and she kind of looks back, and I'm guessing Host is there, just probably after he got respawned, just there, like, like, just standing there. So there you go. Yeah, Host is still alive. I'm pretty sure about it. And but he's kind of concerned. He's like, oh, if this keeps continuing, yeah, Komeko's actually going to make me her familiar. And I'm kind of concerned about it. So there you go. And it's so funny because I actually think Host doesn't mind that. Like, you remember, like, even in the previous episode, like, Host was like kind of tried to kind of act, like, nicely, because Megumin is like a Crimson Demon village, like, person, and he was trying to kind of, like, kind of introduce himself like the Crimson Demon villagers does. And he was like, oh, like, I am Host, the one who is going to get summoned, who's going to be a familiar of someone or something like that. He kind of, like, like, expressed it like that. So, like, looking at his mannerisms and everything, I feel like he doesn't mind if Komeko makes her, like, him her familiar, because he is very nonchalant about it, and he even kind of explains that, oh, I probably will become her familiar, and even in his introduction, he kind of mentions that. So I don't think he minds. I don't think he actually minds being Komeko's familiar. So yeah, that's the whole thing. Situation. Oh god. It's crazy how Komeko actually, like, like, if this is how it keeps continuing, Komako will actually make host her familiar. And if you remember in the movie, the KonoSuba movie, Komako actually became the highest level character, I think, out of everyone else, because she's the one who pulls the trigger to defeat that lady. I cannot remember her name. Something with S. Uh, Sylphie or something like that. No, not Sylphie. Cynthia. No, Cynthia, was it? I don't remember. Anyways, I think someone mentioned it in the comments, and I've forgotten her name again. Anyways, so yeah, she used the trigger. She pulled the trigger, which Kazuma was supposed to pull, and got like the maximum level for defeating her. So yeah, like she's actually the highest level. She probably will make like host her familiar in the future. So yeah, she's probably going to be like the strongest character in this show or something like that. Okay, anyways, so later on we see Cecily is very happy. Cecily is like, oh, thank God, like you're able to do it. I had full faith on you, like kind of hugging Megumin and all that. And Megumin's like, so where are you going? Are you going back to Arcarentia? And she's like, no, I'm actually going to kind of travel. And like I've realized that after casting spell on him, because she kind of mentioned that except like like healing magic, I don't really use other stuff. So thank God I remembered the proper way to use a blessing on others. So she's like, yeah, you know what, I realized after this whole situation that I might need some other spells in the future as well. So to keep my keep me to make my power increase, and so that I can do better these skills, kind of master these skills better, I actually want to go outside and travel the world and learn more stuff. Okay, here we go. She said, this experience taught me something. Healing magic isn't enough by itself. When I cast Bless on Megumin like a proper priest should, it occurred to me, wouldn't it be better if it wasn't just beautiful, but beautiful skilled priest? And Megumin's like, yeah. Okay, anyways, and she's like, and at the same time, I also do want to take over any local church of a town I want, and if I'm able to become strong, I think that is actually possible. So I'm just going to do that. So Megumin's like, oh, so you're planning on actually taking over Axel's, like church or something like that. Okay, eligible to take over the local church of any town I want. And I think she just wants to do that just to spite the Eris sect members. Like, like one day she'll come here after getting strong, and she'll be like, you Eris sect members, get off, vacate the premises. This is my territory now. And she'll actually kick them out or something. Take over the church just so that she can spite them. I'm pretty sure that's like the main reason she wants to do this. And also the fact that, and it's, like, what can I say? Like, this is why I guess we never saw her in season 2. Like, we went to Arcantia and like we never saw Cecily. So I was thinking, why didn't we see Cecily in season 2 then? It makes sense. She's actually not in Arcarentia. She left to for her training arc or whatever. And I think this is probably like an indication that maybe in the future seasons, like season 3 or season 4, Cecily's actually going to come back to Axel and try to take over the church. And then we'll meet her again in the original KonoSuba. So I guess that's what's going to happen here. And she's like, goodbye everyone, see you later. And in the end she also is like, oh Megumin, can you please call me sister again? Anyways, so yeah, she leaves, and then later on Yunun brings Megumin to like a field, and she explains, she kind of announces that, you know what, Megumin, I have realized something. And she kind of introduces herself with like the whole Crimson Demon style introduction that everyone does. She does that, and she's like, yeah, you know what, I've realized that you're way stronger than I am, and I actually need to catch up to you, so I'm going to go on a journey. And wait, I think that's what she said. Let me go back just a minute. Yeah, she says that. And Megumin's like, but other day you said I wasn't your rival, but your best friend or something? And Union's like, oh no, like forget about that. And then Megumin's like, oh, don't tell me after that embarrassing confession. You're just going out to like like kind of let this whole thing kind of go down a little bit. Then it'll come back again. And Union's like, no, I'm not like that. Like I'm not that like 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 awkward. But then she's like yeah, like what actually is the situation that I hate to admit it, but you did end up beating the demon, and if I stay with you, I don't think I can like like defeat you or surpass you. So after I learn advanced magic properly, then I'll come back and then we'll like duel, and yeah, then I'll see if I'm worthy enough. And it now makes sense why she wasn't here in Konosuba season 1 and why she came back in the OVA, and then we get to see her more in season 2. And so a few other things. uh, First of all, wait a minute, there's a few things that I realized here. mm, okay, just a sec. Okay, so yeah, she says that she wants to settle things after learning advanced magic, and that's why she goes off. Now, I so does she? I guess obviously she kind of learns more advanced. So that is why she comes back in season 2. I'm guessing she's ready, and that is why she's always trying to like like kind of duel Megumin, and Megumin always brushes her away. Okay, all right, it kind of makes sense now. Like why she comes back and she's suddenly like, oh, like fight me, Megumin, like like you're my rival, like like let's settle this, and that whole thing, and like why she does that, it makes sense now. And yeah, and then obviously if she thinks that she's worthy enough, she then will probably try to get into Megumin's party. Now I do wonder if in the future Union will actually become part of Kazuma's party. Like I don't know, like it kind of makes me feel that might actually happen, because like at some point I feel like Megumin will definitely fight Union, or like as Union says, I want to settle things with you. So maybe after that, like she'll. But I don't see like this party actually, like like in many animes you see like a party, like, and you kind of in subsequent seasons you see the party kind of like increasing, and like more party members getting in and stuff like that. And however, in Konosuba I actually don't see that happening. I don't know why. It's like a weird, like I feel like these three will always be the sole party members in like Kazuma's party. I don't see anyone else like joining the party, because that doesn't seem like the way this show is going to go. And that's just the vibe I kind of get from the whole thing. Yeah, obviously they'll have friends, they'll have close friends. Union is good friends with Megumin, but I get the feeling that she probably will never join Kazuma's party, because that doesn't seem how this show is going to proceed. These three are the sole members of this. Why am I saying three? These four are the sole members of the party, and that will remain throughout the whole show, I think. And that's just the vibe I get. I don't know why. It's like a weird thing. Like I don't see anyone else joining this party. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. In the future, maybe they'll get more party members. I'm not really sure. Either way, so yeah, Union is off for her training arc as well. Crazy stuff. Cecily goes out for her training arc. Union goes out for her training arc. Yeah, okay. Now, obviously, Megumin is just here now, like still, like like trying to ask and trying to get party members to take her in, getting like getting what do you call it, like rejected by party members. And then we see Megumin and Darkness kind of like crossing paths, and here like in the when this part we're getting to see the after credit scene, all these like the music, the ending song is playing, little cameos we again get, like Darkness crossing Megumin's path, Union actually meeting Wolba. Now here is something that I think, correct me if I'm wrong, so I'm guessing this is the carriage that Union took to go from Axel to the Crimson Demon village. Now, so this would mean that would this mean that Wolbach was actually in Axel? Like, because they're in the same carriage. Now, Wolbach is also going like like side by like like part of the way with Union. That's why we see Union talking to Wolba, and Union then kind of like says goodbye, and the carriage goes on its way. Now I'm guessing the carriage is on its way to Arcantia, while Union like left off in the middle of the journey because she is going on a different direction. I think she's off towards the Crimson Demon village again. I don't know. This is all a guess. I might be completely wrong. But if this is correct, if this my way of thinking is correct, then that would mean Wolbach was in Axel, wasn't she? Because she was together with Union in the carriage. Union is coming from Axel towards going towards her journey. So that would mean that Wolbach was also in Axel and she boarded the same carriage as Union, and now Wolbach is going towards Arcarentia because in season 2, that's where we see Wolbach in Arcarentia. Kazuma meets her in the hot spring. So, like I said, I might be completely wrong, but it would be kind of what can I say? It would be kind of crazy if she actually was in Axel all the time. So Megumin was correct. If that's how it is, if she was actually in Axel, then Megumin was correct all along. It's just that unfortunately they never met. But like I said, I'm not exactly sure if I'm actually correct in this. This is just a guess. I might be wrong. Maybe something else happened. Either way, yeah, so next we get to see Megumin unleashing her daily explosion magic and kind of laying down on the ground looking at the stars. Similar, Union also does that. It's like kind of camping outside looking out at the stars. And yeah, then I was like, wait, are they going to end it here? Like, won't we see Kazuma and Megumin meeting? And then there you go, we get to see that. Like, we see Megumin is just I shouldn't have given the money to Union. And then we see her looking at everyone like this, and everyone's like, oh no, we don't need any party members, the post immediately got filled up. So Megumin goes and looks at the poster of Aqua, the recruitment poster, and she's like, what the hell is this? But what actually drew her attention was that only advanced class profession allowed, that thing. So it's funny because Aqua was the one who included that. Kazuma was completely opposed to it. So turns out Aqua was literally the reason why Megumin kind of joined. If that part wasn't included in it, that only advanced party members, no, yeah, only advanced party members allowed, advanced professions allowed, Megumin probably would have just skimmed past it because it seemed like she was kind of very skeptical about it. She was like, what the hell is this? What type of recruitment poster is this? Where Aqua wrote I'm very happy in this party, this and that. I'm more popular now. Reading all of that, Megumin was quite skeptical. But then as soon as she read the advanced profession part, she's like, oh, interesting, let me go. So yeah, it was literally Aqua who kind of was the reason why Megumin joined our party. Maybe Megumin wouldn't have joined our party if Aqua didn't write that one line. But yeah, there you go. Due to weird twist of fate, Aqua actually started, actually became a party member to Megumin. So yeah, I guess Cecily's blessing did work. Aqua actually did start helping out. But from this point onwards, obviously Aqua and Megumin become party members. So in a weird way, the blessing did come true. And yeah, so after that she goes and she sees that exact scene that we see in KonoSuba. Kazuma complaining about how she has too high expectation, and Kazuma's like, I'm going to be embarrassed. I'm not a advanced professional person. While Aqua's like, it's fine, everything will be fine. And then Megumin comes in and Megumin's like, my name is Megumin. I'm the the Crimson Demon Village's explosion magic, the soul explosion magic user or something like that, she says. And Kazuma's like, what the hell? And yeah, then in the end Kazuma narrates as to how this is the beginning of their adventure. And there you go. Now a few things I need to talk about. Obviously I really love this little spin-off. This is the end of the spin-off, I'm guessing, and from here onwards we get to see what happens in KonoSuba. One thing I really loved about this spin-off is that, what, I actually didn't really expect much from this. I was like, oh, if like if Kazuma, Megumin, and Darkness and Aqua are not together, how will they make it funny? Like this is like the way I was thinking. I was like, these four are like perfect together, and they each of them kind of brings out the funny in each other. Their whole shenanigans is what makes Konosuba so funny. So I was thinking, will this be as funny as the original Konosuba? And I'm actually happy to say, yeah, it was. Like the comedy is still on point. And even though Megumin was the only one who Megumin and Yunun were kind of like the only main characters here. These two, their whole whole chemistry and the whole situation and everything, yeah, the comedy was still on point, and I really loved it. There was really a few sections that I just was so funny, like it really tickled me. And not only that, another thing I really appreciated about this spin-off is this actually brings so much depth to Megumin, so much more backstory, so much more we get to know what she was doing, what was the situation. So many things actually make sense now that I have watched this spin-off. In season 1, without context, half of these things you'll probably just skip past. You'll not realize. Watching this spin-off, you actually realize the importance of the few of the other scenes in Konosuba. And it's really nice to see, kind of understand and be like, oh, this is why that happened in Konosuba. And it's really nice for because they kind of really nailed it. Also, what else? We actually get to see how Megumin was before she met the party. And as you can see, as Yun kind of explains, Megumin was wild. She was crazy. In Konosuba, she's extremely tamed down. She's very much more, I guess you could say, reasonable, a lot more responsible, and a lot more milder than she is here. Megumin in this show is crazy. She's an actual menace. And I was baffled seeing a few things that she has done in this show. And so yeah, I really was shocked seeing what the hell. I was there's so many scenes I was what the hell is this? But then you can see how Megumin really tames down, and in Konosuba she's a lot more tamer than this. Than this Megumin. And yeah. Also, another really good thing a thing that this this spin-off was able to do perfectly is actually show the relationship between Yun and Megumin in such a better way. And we actually know what good friends they are, how they feel about each other, and their whole thing. We know about it. And it brings so much more depth to Yun's character, because I'm going to say this, in season 2 when we met Yun and the little bits and pieces we saw of Yun, I wasn't really that much fond of her. I was oh, she's just a character, kind of like Chris, like Chris, how we sometimes see her now and then. Yun was also kind of like that. Yeah, the movie did kind of give us a little bit more depth to Yun and Megumin. Still, it wasn't enough. I was really pretty neutral on Yun. After watching this spin-off, I can say that Yun is definitely one of my favorite characters now. She, they actually bring out her character so well in this show. And, I feel like anyone who has watched Konosuba, after watching this spin-off, they'll be able to appreciate Yun a lot more. And yeah, because that's what happened. I'm really fond of her now. After watching this spin-off. And I don't think that would have happened if, I just watched Konosuba and never watched this spin-off. The spin-off does a brilliant job in actually bringing out the positive things about Yun and getting to see what type of person she is. And I remember a few people saying in Konosuba season 2, few people actually being annoyed at Yun and being oh, what the hell, this girl is annoying, why does she always come asking about duels and stuff, what the hell, go away and stuff like that. However, I can guarantee say this now, that after watching this spin-off, I'm pretty sure nobody is going to say that anymore. Because, it does a really good job to bring out Yun's character. And we get to know her so much more better. 12 episodes, and in every episode we get to see Yun. So that shows how well they were able to portray this character. And were able to make us accustomed and introduced to us in Yun in a very nice way, and actually gave more character depth more development to her, and it's such a good thing. So yeah, and not obviously not to mention Megumin. Like Megumin was the one who was probably got the maximum character development here. Like yeah, and I think at this point Megumin probably has the maximum character development, even more than Kazuma. Because we literally get a spin-off series of 12 episodes completely dedicated to Megumin and Union. So at this point, I feel like this is probably the one of the first time that a show where the main character has actually lesser character development than one of the supporting main characters, which is Megumin. Megumin probably in character development department after watching this spin-off is at top, you know, than all the other characters. So that's kind of crazy if you think about it. But yeah, anyways, and I, what can I say? Like again, like I wasn't really that big of a, like yeah, I like Megumin, but I wasn't really that big of a Megumin fan because I've seen so many people like being like, oh, Megumin best girl and all that. I never really was that much of a big fan of Megumin, but I really appreciate her a lot more after watching this spin-off. You know, and like I said, she has the maximum character development now, so I'm probably the most fond of her now out of the other party members in Kazuma's party. Like I was a lot. I was a big fan of Darkness. You know, like when I watched KonoSuba season 2 and season, you know, like season, season 1 and season 2. I would probably say the person, like you know, the character that I really like, you know, I loved the most was Darkness, and then all the other characters. However, I guess you could say now it's like Megumin's probably winning because of the amount of character development we got in this spin-off. And yeah, this spin-off is really nice. I have to say it did a solid job, and I'm gonna say this again. It actually like kind of surpassed my expectations. I had no expectations when I started watching the spin-off. I was like, how will they be able to make it funny because the four are not together? Only Megumin is here. How will this be funny? But nah, they were able to perfectly nail it, and I really love this. This is really amazing. And yeah, there you go. So that is it, guys. That is my reaction to the final episode of KonoSuba, An Explosion on This Wonderful World. And yeah, from here onwards, I think we are going to obviously continue the journey in KonoSuba Season 3. Now, I think I have heard that there has been an announcement that KonoSuba Season 3 is coming in 2024. Don't know when, but somewhere down in 2024. You know what? Let me check. KonoSuba Season 3. Somewhere in 2024, KonoSuba is going to come. Let me just double check. Yeah, there you go. 2024. That's it. That's all we know. So there you go. Yes, it's confirmed. We're actually getting season 3. And I can't wait to when it's going to come out. Obviously, I'm going to react to it when it comes out. So yeah. So that is it, guys. Now, yeah, so thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe. If you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And yeah, so that is it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video that I make. Another anime which is going to replace this, and I'm going to make a video on that later, talking about which animes I'm going to watch the upcoming season. So yeah, see you guys then. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.